Okay, let's do this. Let's tweet out to some people that we are doing this so that people have a chance to join. Share it here and on Snooty's server. I can put away Discord, Telegram. Okay, Twitter, this can go to the side. Okay, so I guess we're ready to tackle day 5. Is the mic working good enough? Yeah, I think so. We just adjusted. Test. Okay. Okay, so day 5 of Advent of Code. Let me drop a link in the chat for those who want to join. This is Advent of Code. It's 25 days. It's a lot of fun. There are many years that you can go back to. So yeah, let's check out the assignment for today. Day 5, hydrothermal venture. You come across a field of hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor. These vents constantly produce large opaque clouds, so it would be best to avoid them if possible. They tend to form in lines. The submarine helpfully produces a list of nearby lines of vents, your puzzle input for you to review. For example, 0,9, 5,9, 8,0, 0,8, 9,4, 3,4. Okay. Each line event is given as a line segment in the format of xy2, xy2. Okay. Sound is too low. I cannot hear. Okay. Good that you say. Let me check it. I don't know why the volume is low, but let me see. Because I have a wireless mic, but it's not picking up very well. Let me check. There are some buttons on here. Let me see. It's really hard to tell. I should have probably checked this in advance. Because I have no clue what these buttons do, so let me check. The view meter seems to indicate that this is a bit louder, so I think last time with disconnecting it, it was a bit low. So thanks for letting me know. Let me see if it's still bad or not. Way better, okay. Thank you. So that's my wife in chat that saved us from bad audio. So thanks for that. Okay. So let's get back to the assignment. So these are vents in the ocean floor, and these are coordinate pairs, so x, y, from and to. And as you can see, this one is going up, but there's also ones that are going down. So like from 9 to 3. So this is from 0 to 5, this one goes from 9 to 3. So you probably need to reorder them, but yeah, that's for later. Let's see. Each line event is given as a line segment. Yes, we saw that. The coordinates of the other end. The line segments include the points at both ends. In other words, 1, 1 to 1, 3 covers 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 3. Okay? And yeah, that's what I said, and the other one is going in reverse, so that's fine. For now, only consider horizontal and vertical lines, lines where either x1 is x2 or y1 is y2. Okay? Okay, so these ones should be removed because none of the pairings match, same as this one. This one as well. So these are diagonal lines. And this one as well. Okay, so we have to exclude those. Thanks. So the horizontal and vertical lines from the above list would produce the following diagram. Okay. In this diagram, the top left corner and the bottom right corner is 9, 9. Okay, each position is shown as the number of lines which cover that point, or dot if no line covers that point. The top left pair of ones, for example, comes from 2, 2 to 2, 1. The very bottom row, yeah? Let's see, To avoid the most dangerous areas, you need to determine the number of points where at least 2 lines overlap. In the above example, this is anywhere in the diagram with a 2 or larger. Total of 5 points. Okay. Consider only horizontal and vertical lines. At how many points do at least 2 lines overlap? Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty doable. So we split by this, then we split by the commas, parse those, then we compare the pairings. Sure, we can do this. Okay, so let's see, we do day 5. Const split it by is, let's define how the text is separated, which is space followed by an arrow followed by another space. And let's declare this at the top. So we have var okay, events is input as 2 lines split by select, okay, x. Can I actually do this as? Let's see, x split it by. So this will be a string array that it will return. I need to do this as a select. And then we can do select x dot as. No, we need to split this. Let's see, x dot split on a comma as int parse x parse x. So this will give us a value tuple of 2 ints. And this will give 2 of those. Let's see. I need to make sure that these are in line. So we have this, then we have the 2 parts for each line, which is then split and converted to a coordinate. So we can say let me see, because we have a from and a to, and this is an array of key value pairs like this. Now, maybe I need to write it out better, because this isn't the nicest way to do it. Because right now the events are like a list of enumerables. So these are 2 pairs. I'm actually thinking if I should just because this is an x and y, so I can say int x, int y, and then do that inside there. Let's see, I just got a message, but I don't know what it is. Let me see. Okay, not important. Because this will be parsed here. And then we need to close that one as well. Because this one corresponds to this one. So So if I do it like this, it will be a list of ints. So that would be make it parse, but I really don't like this. So I will just make a better structure out of it. So let's just say public class event public int x, int y from 2 public bool is diagonal from x equals 2 dot x or from dot y equals 2 dot y. So that takes care of that. We can create a constructor here, and this will make sure that we have it in the right position. Boom, 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 boom. So we can do event from 2, and now we can check which direction it's headed. So we can do if from dot x is larger than 2 dot x or from dot y. Actually, yeah, from dot y is larger than 2 dot y else. All right. So we can say from is 2, and else we say now we can just call this a bool, like a bool invert is this, and now we can say from is invert 2 or from, and same for 2. So this means that in the constructor we check if the positions are swapped or not, and we just always assign them, at least if they're like, if they're, how do you call it, horizontal or vertical positions, that it will be from smaller to larger in this case. So we have that. Just thinking what's the best way to actually set this up here, because we want to do that properly. So we can do public event string raw, and then we can do actually this parsed is raw dot that. Yeah, and then we can do this parsed like that. Not sure if we're allowed to call the constructor like that, right? Because we would need to have an array. Public static event from raw return new. So we can do it like this, right? We can make this from 2. This would give like I'm just thinking, because this, if I do var, let me see, parse would be, oh yeah, I need to have actually both lines here. Boom, 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 boom. So let me see, because I have those lines here and I can actually split it based on the other one as well here. So I can do this, new event X. Oh no, I can do event from raw. Okay. But I need to have it one higher than this, because it's actually it needs two parts here. Let's see, split it by, so X would be, let's see, X split by, yeah. Because this would only take care of the first part, I need to go one level higher. So we do var parts is raw dot split by this. Which I can then define here actually. And then we have from is parts 0 dot split by var 2 is parts 1. Okay, getting there. So we do from comma from 2. Okay. Took a bit of a detour, but we're there. So now we have vents as a list of vent, and it's parsed. Okay. And now we can say dot where x dot is diagonal. We want to filter those, so we don't take those. Okay. Now that we have this one, we can also do this as a series. So we can have, so if we have XY coordinates here, we can have a public list plot. We make that private set, and we can do that from the start. So we can do here, if not is diagonal, then we do plot is like that, and we can go for int y is from dot y, smaller, y smaller than from no 2 dot y, increment y. It doesn't really matter because only one of these will actually increase, but we might as well write it as this instead of a bunch of if statements. And now we can do plot.add x, y. Okay, so now we have a list of points that they are in, and now we need to actually, let's see, the number of lines which cover that point. Two lines overlap, okay. So what we do now is actually, what we can do is, come on, events, select many, x dot plot, group by x, where x count larger than 1. So we have int overlap count is, no wait, we have to calculate the lines, right? No, the number of points. Sure. So this would be the number of points where they overlap. So we do console.writeLine overlap points, overlap count. Sure, okay. Just in case, let's run the test input first. If I can type, that is. Okay. So let's just say var events is, and we do the same part here. I need to run day 5, not day 4. Let's see, program day 5. I don't know why I keep commenting it out, because I will always run just one day anyways. Let's see, overlap points 0. Great! Okay, let's check out what the code did. Day 5. Let's see, so our events. We have 4 events. Is that correct? So this would match 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 should match in this case, right? Okay, so there's the first error, right? So let's see. Let's do this, is events. What's the matter here? Error list. Cannot assign method group to implicit type variable. Okay. Why is that implicit? Ah, this was trimmed off. Okay, fine. So let's see what happens here. The vents should parse 10. Okay. From 0 to 9 to 5. Ah, it did the inverse, right? Okay. Is diagonal. Ah, duh. Okay. So that means not this. Overlap point still 0. Okay, we can work with that. Let's see what happens here. So non-diagonal should be 6, right? Okay, that's good. So let's see. Ah, the plot is never... Why is the plot never filled? Okay, so let's see here. Wait, what? Ah. Actually, from 2y. Wait. Let me go back here. Ah, this needs to be inclusive. My bad. Now we have an overlap count of 3. That's still not correct, but let's see what happens here. So we have non-diagonal. So this goes from 0.9 to 5.9, which is fine. From 3.4 to 9.4. Why doesn't this have any plot counts? Okay, let me just check my plot generation again, because this is okay, so from 3.4 to 9.4. Then we have x from, actually invert is true. Ah, okay. Yep, it's totally, I use the input variables instead of my own nicely switched ones. Ah. Okay, so if I do it now, do I get 5? Okay, now it works. Okay. See how many bugs there can have in just a small piece of code? Man, okay. Let's switch to the actual input. And this gives a lot of overlap. Let's see if that is correct. Submit. Boom, and that is correct. Great. Let's see part 2. Unfortunately, considering only horizontal and vertical lines does not give you the full picture. You need to also consider diagonal lines. Because of the limits of the hydrothermal vent mapping system, the lines in your list will only ever be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal line at exactly 45 degrees. And in other words, 1.1 to 3.3 covers points 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay. Considering all the lines from the example above, would now produce the following diagram. You still need to determine the number of points where at least 2 lines overlap. In the above example, this is still anywhere in the diagram with the 2 or larger. Okay. So that's easy-ish, except now we need to plot diagonally. So else we need to do this, and we actually need to step both at the same time. Okay, so we need to have a range from one to the other, and then because we don't need to enumerate, we just need to increment both of them once. So let's see, we do int x step is from dot x larger than 2 dot x. That would be -1, or else it would be 1. Let me see. Y step is from dot y. Okay, and now we do int x is from dot x, y is from dot y, while x to dot x, y to dot y. Let's see, int sanity 0. Actually, we can do sanity to 200. So no, we don't need that in here, so we do if larger equal to 0 break. Hit sanity check. Okay, so that is that. And now we do x plus equals x step, y plus equals y step, and then we do plot dot add x y. Actually, we need to add extra braces because it's a value tuple, and we need to also add the first record in here. Sure. So let's just set a breakpoint here to see if this works. For here, we can just remove the diagonal. And let's run this on the test input. Just fine. We can just do this, and we run this on events. Let's see. Boom, hit sanity check. That's not good. So from same problem as before. I need to make them uppercase because those are the possibly swapped around values. Okay. Right, from to, okay, let's run that again. Still hitting a sanity check. Okay. We go from, and what is our 2? Oh, that's a big range. Okay, so our sanity check is too low. Let's just make that 2000, right? Okay, so that works. So the first time it's 12, okay, that compiles. Okay, so I need to make sure that the sanity check isn't too small. Okay, so let's run this on the real input then. And we have this number over here. And that's also correct. Okay, cool. So yeah, it took me a bit to get started, but actually I took the same approach as yesterday and just treated it like a business problem and like, okay, let's design a proper class for it and make sure that we have everything that we need to properly handle it. So I just made a class that has a from and to. I tried to make it smart by making sure that it goes from smaller to bigger. I have a property to check if it's diagonal or not, and I have a cached, pre-calculated plot list that we can use to determine overlap. So yeah, in the end, it's not that much code. It's a simple problem to solve this way. So yeah, it just took a bit of time to get started, and actually the fact that I switch these based on which side they go to actually caused me a bit of issues, because the parameters that come in are lowercase, and the properties that will have the properly sorted values are uppercase. So I need to make sure that once I set these and have determined this, that I only use these and not reference these two directly. So yeah, that was where a few of the bugs came from, sadly. But yeah. And also, if you add a sanity check, computers are fast. I just wanted to make sure that there isn't an input in there that's not perfectly divisible by 45-degree angles. So I wanted to make sure that if that happens, that I detect it and not hit an infinite loop. But my sanity check was too small, 200 iterations. So make sure the sanity checks that you add in there are sufficiently large, so like 100,000 or 1 million is actually fine, because you can do a million loops without an issue. So yeah, there was another fairly quick advent of code, I think. How long have I been streaming for? I have no clue. I don't think I can see. It's been like just over half an hour. So yeah, I had fun yet again, and I wonder when the hammer will drop with like a really tough example, a tough problem, because while these are still fairly easy, there will be challenges that are really, really tough this year. I'm just looking on it like the past few years had some really tough challenges. I still need to go back actually to a few years. Can I still see them? Oh yeah, under events you can see the previous years. So I started doing 2015 and I still need to do the last 5 there. And I did 2019, I did it for the first time. I still need to do day 18 and then you can complete the last day. That's always the case. Like the final star you can only get if you did all the previous ones. So I still need to do this one. And from last year I still need to do day 19 part 2. So yeah, that will be for some other time when I have a lot more time. But yeah, so thank you for stopping by and watching me build another day to completion. So let's see what tomorrow has. So thank you, and see you tomorrow hopefully. Bye bye.